have no 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 have no
Yes. It's me. What do you want? It's
Football Dugout.
It's where we try and ride. It's where we try and live.
Guys, remember this is still a work in progress. So I'm going to be looking at the live chats and so forth. Just make sure that everything is all.
Okay, cool. All right. So yeah, there goes figure. Thank you. Look, man, we're working for a chill. So this is the Football Dugout, and of course, this is where every single week we pretty much try and give you guys that quality content where we review all the football stories, we expose De Bruyne for the system merchants that he is, and so forth. So, but of course, I don't do this alone. I do this with a team, and of course, I have to present to you my boys.
Of course, it's me again, Neeks, back with the truth on the Football Dugout. I can't speak for the rest of the guys, sir.
I always speak facts. That is a fact. And my name is Devo. Welcome to the Football Dugout. Let's do this. Let's get into it.
Alright. So look, man, it's this was an eventfulish week. Eventfulish because for me, I believe that Pep is gonna smash up every VAR box or thing that's pretty much exists because the guy hates that whole thing right now. So he's gonna smash everything up. But I think we have to, because there are many places to start. I could have started at Barcelona, started at Bale. Uncle Mo is returning to PSG. That's a side note. That's a side note. Chill. But remember, guys.
Stop crying.
Yeah, easy. No, but before we do that, a poll has been put out. So this poll is out. So get onto my Twitter page where the poll is out there of how successful do you think Coutinho's move to Bayern will be. That is one of the topics that we, of course, will be covering. Is how successful do you think Coutinho's move to Bayern will be? If you are sleeping on the flipping rock, Philip Coutinho, aka Coutinho, aka a guy who never had a great season for Liverpool. Only those mindless Liverpool fans think he did it.
One great season.
What?
He had one great season.
He never had a great season, bro. No.
1.5, then he got his move.
Look,
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, look. So that is the tweet, and we'll obviously look at the results at the end of the thing. So let's just start off first with this right now. So, and then let me just say my piece, and I will hand it over to the boys. Tottenham against Man City. Man City completely, totally dominated them, completely destroyed them, completely owned them. But at the end of the day, somehow, some way, it was really a case of how the hell did Man City not win that? And it was literally like history repeating itself, where they scored in the last minute. Great goal by Gabriel Jesus. All the Gabriel Jesus haters have to now stop saying stuff right now. Jesus is a better footballer than Aguero. He is.
Relax,
he's a better footballer than Aguero. He's a better footballer.
No, he's not. He's not a better footballer because football.
Wait, no. I'll come to you. Chill. I'll come to you. I just know for me, he is. Okay, look. Let's not get in there. But yeah, so my view is just because I want your guys' view on VAR. Do you think it's taking anything away from football? Do you think it's adding anything more? What is your take on this whole VAR shebang?
I don't think VAR is taking anything away from it. It's a video. VAR is literally a video which officials can use to make the correct decision. Mm-hmm. So if the officials are using it incorrectly, it's not VAR which is the problem. It's the officials. The officials are always going to be there. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? So if they play a video and it takes them 18 chances to see if it's correct or not, and they decide it's the wrong decision, that's the officials. Mm-hmm. You cannot say VAR doesn't work. It's like, no, the officials employed can't look at a screen properly. That's what it is. So I think VAR will decide, it will make decisions which are correct, which otherwise would have went against you. And many people, no one in this room can say that they've never said a referee got something wrong and they haven't been vexed by it. Yep. This will take that out of the equation. They should be getting it right now. For example, I was saying before off camera, if we had VAR back in the day, we wouldn't be singing 49 undefeated. We'd be singing 64 undefeated. Because that Rooney dive at Old Trafford is what stopped us from being unbeaten.
He's forgetting all the Perez dives that happened.
No, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Let's talk about the big one. Rooney's dive cost us undefeated. We'll be undefeated till this day. Till this day.
Hashtag wilder. But yeah,
it's a bit wild. Yeah,
I think for me, as Devo said, VAR is a tool that officials use, but we can't have it all our own way. We can't have our cake and eat it, because for years we've been complaining about the standard of refereeing. Up until last year, there was no English referees at the World Cup, and people said that is the indictment on the referee in this country, etc., etc. Then the World Cup had VAR, and we saw how effective it can be if used correctly, which means that VAR isn't the problem. It's about how it's used. But again, if we're going to be complaining week in, week out about referee decisions, and now a tool comes in place that should improve the decisions, how are we going to complain about that as well? It seems like people just...
Wait, how good is this tech really? But so you don't think it could be ruining the game at all?
No. Well, I think it creates its own moments. I'll give you, for example, last season in the Champions League, 2 big moments everyone remember. Rashford against PSG, that whole drama around the handball, Kimpembe, was it, wasn't it, etc. Well, you say what you want, that created its own drama.
But then again, that's not VAR, that's the rules which we put in place. That's not VAR.
Yeah, exactly. And then we had the Man City, Tottenham, very similar to what we saw on the weekend, where Aguero, Sterling went through offside, and that itself was a drama, because for me, as a Man United fan, for example, I don't want Man City to win the Champions League. So when that goal went in, I was like, oh my goodness, they're actually going to do this quadruple. I can't believe it. It's going to be the greatest team of all time. Everything bad was going through my head. And then VAR. It was offside. I was running around the room. Come on, Spurs. Listen, I had all the Spurs songs on the top of my head, just like that, at that moment. That created this whole drama. So, football's changing.
I think people need to get used to it. I think it's gonna do a lot more good for the game than it will anything else, because there's a lot of decisions which go against teams that shouldn't, which could be very, very costly to the future of football clubs. So if you're getting decisions right, how can you complain?
Okay, that's fair enough. So,
look, just to have my say from I think, look, man, I think a point that you raised, Dev, I think is very key, and I think the point which is that it's the rules and the law. VAR is just the tech. VAR doesn't make up these rules. Mm-hmm. That dumbass rule of if the ball hits my hand accidentally, then go that's goal. Was it? For Man City, it should have stood. He had no idea that ball hit his hand. So it's mistakenly, because the ball mistakenly hits your hand and someone then puts the ball in, therefore it's a handball. So basically, that's what I always say, people who make those rules haven't played football at the highest level. Because everyone who has said, this is why I want to watch a match the other day, Alan Shearer was like, bro, these guys are mindless. If you've played for football, you have to know, nobody jumps like this, like a peacock. It's just, okay, so that was great. So
it goes against the laws of physics.
No, it's not.
Pushing yourself through the air.
My issue with the law, because obviously the law says if any goal is scored with either the use of the hand or it hits the hand, which leads to the goal, i.e. it assists the goal, then it'll be ruled out. Now, I understand why the rule was brought in, because I can think of 3 incidents in the past year and a half, that goals were scored with a hand. Willy Bolly against Man City for Wolves last season. Aguero against Arsenal, I think it was at the Etihad at the end of last season.
They battered us.
Of course. But then, and I think it was a previous season, Koscielny scored a late winner away at Burnley when his hand was all the way up here and it hit his hand. But that can't be proven. But the argument was the hand was in a natural position. For me, a goal should not be scored with your hand, whether it's in a natural or unnatural position. It's not allowed. This is football, not handball. So I think the rule for me, if a goal is scored with a hand, whether intentional or not, it's disallowed. I think people become comfortable with that. But when it hits your hand and goes to somebody else, who then scores the goal, not that you didn't hand it to him like that, it just hit you.
No, but then you also have that thing of, so if you scored the goal with your hand, unintentionally, but if you unintentionally knocked it past the defender and your colleague went on and put it in the back of the net, why is one punished and one is not?
Because
it still led directly to a goal scoring opportunity.
A goal scoring opportunity, but I'm saying a goal.
But then there's thin lines, isn't it?
It is. But then equally,
you have to.
The attacker.
If it's like it's a direct intention of your hand, because someone said, "Oh, how can you prove whether you used your hand intentionally or not?" Come on, bro. You
can to an extent, but then UEFA have this silhouette rule, which is why Kimpembe's penalty was, where your arm is outside of your, what they would say is a natural silhouette, which I think is fair as well, which the Premier League didn't decide to go through. But my biggest issue is that there's one rule for handball for attackers and one for defenders. You only give away a penalty via handball if it's proved to be intentional, or you've made yourself bigger. Whereas attackers, there's less margin for error. If it hits your hand, it's no goal. So handball is handball. So you set one rule, and it's that for everyone.
Yes.
All right, man. Sorry, man. That's
So look, going over to the next, obviously we'll obviously come out to the Premier League, but we're just really dealing with the main stories. Another of the main stories was Barcelona, or should I say Barcelona? They got beat. They didn't have Messi, they didn't have Suarez, but they did have Antoine Griezmann. Correct me if I'm wrong, and I want to look you guys in the eyes when I say this. Antoine Griezmann, is he world class? Yes or no? Well, no. How do you pause? You're actually gonna pause?
It's a tough one.
I would say
Oh
no.
my
I would
God
say-
in
I would say
heaven!
no. I
You're
don't
actually
think he is.
pausing.
I don't think he is.
No. Devil, there's no think. It's either a yes
Wait,
or a
you
no.
asked me my opinion.
No, I'm not asking your opinion. I'm asking you to agree with me. That's what I'm saying.
If I did that, I'd be mad half the time. So I'm not gonna do that. I like to have sense.
No, I don't think he is. I don't rate Griezmann as highly as some do. I've never seen it in him. I've seen Griezmann. I watched him since he was at Real Sociedad, and I've never seen that thing that made me think, you know what, this guy is one of the best in the world. I've never seen it. I don't think he was that great at Atletico Madrid, to be honest. Not to garner 110 up to 180 million.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
Jao Felix already looks better than him. in my
Relax.
Well, that's one game. Come on, let's relax.
I
a
don't
little.
care.
But
I can see my eyes. Eye test.
But I don't think at Barcelona he's... Well, I mean, it's one game. But the Bilbao game, they had no Messi. They lost Suarez quite early. And Griezmann did nothing. Their best player was Rafinha. He came off the bench and was their best player. Do you know what I mean? I think in that situation, I know it's one game, that is the spotlight is on you. It's like, what are you going to do? How are you going to change this game for Barcelona? I didn't see anything.
For me, I would say I don't think he's got world-class ability, world-class talent, but he's had world-class seasons, world-class competitions, where you take the Euros, was it the Euros? Yeah. Where was it-
Seasons. He's had a world-class season.
when he's got 30 plus goals, that's a
Yeah,
world class.
he's
That's
got
a world class season. 30 plus goals is a world class season.
Wait,
Everyone
wait,
is not Messi and Ronaldo
He scored 30 goals when?
Was it not last season before?
across all competitions. No one.
Oh, chat group, please do a fact
He
check.
must do.
Did this do the... First of all, I don't believe Benzema
talking about-
scored 30 goals last season, so I say like...
I'm not saying last. Oh,
No,
Wait. Chat group, did Griezmann ever score 30 goals in a season in his career?
I'm pretty sure.
Please tell me, did he ever score 30 goals in his career? But
I'm convinced, but I'm sure he has. And if you say yes, let us know how many. I'm not talking about league. I'm talking about across all competitions because it's not just one competition. He's won the La Liga with Atletico Madrid, which in and of itself is a massive achievement because it ain't Barcelona, it ain't Real Madrid. He's got to the Champions League final with Atletico Madrid, and he's been a key player in those achievements, as well as top goal scorer for France in Euro 2016. So, as I said, certain competitions, a year here, a year there, I would say that season he was world class. But across his career, no, I wouldn't say he's been a world class player.
I think that's fair. I think sometimes we have to actually think, what is world class? Because for me, let's take Messi and Ronaldo out of this. Because, do you know what I mean?
Oh, sorry. Someone said that he hasn't won La Liga or Atletico. He joined that season after, wasn't it? Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I think for me, when you're talking world class and you're talking about, players of his ilk, you're looking at Mbappe, you're looking at Salah, you're looking at Lewandowski, Aguero, Kane. Would you put him over any of those guys?
Some people didn't say Kane's world class, so then where do we go with this debate, innit? So,
Well, as I said, let's talk about sense. We're using sense. For me, world class. How many people can you say are world class? Does it fit into 5 or is it top 10?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then that's when we start having a conversation. Is Griezmann top 5? No.
No.
Hell no.
Is he,
Don't go there. Please don't go
no,
there.
this is what I'm saying. Is he top 10?
Yes,
Possibly.
I would say top 10.
Possibly.
Top 10
Yeah.
in the world.
Possibly.
In his position.
position.
In his position, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so then he is world class. It depends on how harsh you want to be. How 5
No,
or
top
10 or 8. or what.
five.
So that's your.
World class.
Then a lot of people are using using the term world class too much.
No,
If it's only 5,
for sure. Yeah, 5.
do you know what I mean?
You have to be top 5 in your position for sure. You have to be top 5 in your position for sure. So basically,
let's swing things over right now to Bale and Real Madrid. The universe. I don't know. Okay. No. I know I'm going. Okay. I may seem crazy on the surface, but really there's some sense behind here. The universe. Sometimes the universe speaks to you, and it's trying to tell you something. Zidane thought that he could waltz in, get Bale, get Neymar, get whoever he wanted, and Bale would simply have to go because there would be no space for him. He failed on those two targets. All he has is Hazard. Hazard, I know, is top 3, one of the best players in the world. But there's only so much that Hazard can do. Hazard, by the way, has a six-pack. There's a video he released where he actually now has a six-pack.
Why are you obsessed with this guy's weight? No one ever mentions.
No. People in the chat room are obsessed with his weight. So it's for these losers in the chat room who said that the guy's overweight that he has a six-pack now. So this guy's going to be looking like Annie in Commando when he gets to that pitch back. So no, Annie, get to the chopper. So my thing is that look, I feel that the universe is saying to Zidane, you're gonna have to work with Bale, and Zidane has accepted that I now have to keep Bale. So the question here is how much can Bale help Real Madrid? And I'll just set things off. I believe that Bale can, I think, based on everything that has happened, and I think it would just be so ironic, but just based on everything that's happened, I think Bale could have a really big season for Real Madrid. This could be a very interesting La Liga season. Seeing that Griezmann is essentially trash and is a sideshow and needs a star player to play with, and how Barcelona are going to be so much dependent on Messi, who Messi can easily lead them to another La Liga. But I think this could be a very open La Liga. Jao Felix saying what's up. Trippier. No, not too bad. So how well do you think Bale can do for Real Madrid, or do you think that it's one game, blah blah, he'll still revert back to the trash player that he is?
Can I just say something?
Oh sure.
This is part of my Devo knows Twitter movement. I believe I sat here
last week. I said I have a feeling Bale will have a big part to play for Real Madrid. It's not over for them. Not over for him. Lo and behold, first game of the season starts. He gets an assist.
Did you ever see this?
I said it. It's right here.
tape?
It's on tape. Go and check.
All right,
Go and have a look.
in the chat room.
Last week.
Did this liar ever say those?
Last week, I did say that. I said it's not over for Bale at Real Madrid, and I wouldn't be surprised if he plays a part for them this season. And there'll be a big, round up where it's like, well, he was almost gone, but he won us the league. I didn't go that far. But I do think he'll have a part to play, and he has. He's got an assist in the first game. He's talented. We all know he's talented. The problems that he had was supposedly because he didn't want to integrate within the squad, and he wasn't going above and beyond to be a part of the team.
He'll go away and play golf by himself.
And he won't turn up for team dinners. He'll go to bed or whatever. So that is it's disrespectful. If the team's getting together and doing dinner and whatnot, then you have to take a part in that. So if he gets over that and they come to agreement, I can't see why he wouldn't be, a compliment to that squad.
I want you to hear this. When fit, Gareth.
Easy. No. Next. Think long and hard before you speak. I am begging you, please.
Can I speak?
No, you can't.
The chat. Can I speak?
Please let him land.
When fit, Gareth Bale is Real Madrid's best player. That's what I have to say.
Whoa. Let me wait. He's their best player without Hazard or with Hazard.
Let me say that again. We know the roster of the Real Madrid team as it stands. We know there's a bit of a transfer window left, but we're taking as it stands. When fit, Gareth Bale is Real Madrid's best player.
With Hazard in there.
Does Hazard play for Real Madrid?
You're trolling.
I'm being quite serious.
You're trolling.
Sorry.
You're trolling.
How many goals in Champions League
You're
finals
trolling.
has Hazard scored? Please enlighten me.
Oh, okay. Who was he playing
How
for?
many
I believe
semi-finals?
Bale plays for Real Madrid. You're opening your mouth and saying like he's their best player. Effective? No. Wait. Easy.
Hazard was Chelsea's best player.
Wait.
That was it.
Effective?
That was it.
Being effective and being a better player are two very different things.
Please
Bale,
enlighten me how.
okay, I'll answer you. Being effective is what Bale does. He's technically not very good. He can't dribble.
What?
Bale, he has no technique. Bale, can I land?
Someone give me the Idris Elba.
You have to circle. You can't land it. You
Can I land? Can I land? Can I land? Wait, Charo, can I land? Can I land? Can I land? Can I land?
You can't land.
Can I land? Can I land? Can I land?
Bro,
Can I
we
land?
have to put you in another
Bale is effective. If Bale was black, he'll be called pace and power. But he's white, so he is it. Bale is an effective player. Let me land. Bale is an effective player. So he will come you and do amazing things and clutch. But as far as natural footballing ability, Eden Hazard is categorically he's categorically a better football player than Bale. No. Nick, you can't open your mouth. You can't open your mouth and tell me that.
I don't disagree that talent-wise, Hazard is better. But I don't judge a player, especially at the age that they're at. When you're 20, 21, we can talk about talent, potential. These guys are touching 30. I want to see what you've done.
Get him.
Bale's career has far surpassed that of Eden Hazard. Far surpassed. He dragged a Spurs side, a worse Spurs side than Chelsea's, to the top 4, where he was literally the one man in that team. When the likes of Modric had gone, he was the guy. So you talk about what Hazard may have done with Chelsea last year. Bale did that. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt, show me what if you can do it, Hazard. Then he went to Real Madrid in his first year with someone like Ronaldo who was in the team, and he scored a winner in their first Champions League final. He also scored that wonderful
Copa del Rey
goal where he did dribble, pass.
Bartra's never been the same.
Bartra
Dead.
from his halfway line and scored the winner there. Then, when all was against him because the manager didn't like him, he came off the bench to score a wonderful, arguably the greatest Champions League goal of all times in that final against Liverpool. What has Hazard done but score a great goal against West Ham and everyone salivating against it?
Can I respond?
Can I just add one thing to that? Is that I agree with what you're saying. Bale is, when fit, the best player on that team. Problem is, he's never fit.
That's the only
That's the problem.
So you're saying that when fit, he's...
But
That's the point. That's the point. He's not saying, yeah. But I think Hazard will most likely have more to say for Real Madrid than what Bale will.
I agree. I agree.
Okay.
After you went on that ridiculous soliloquy that you always do, let me land. Okay, let me land, and let me put the camera on me right now. I'm going to say this very clearly, because I told you this is 20, and this is new HH 2020. So I'm coming in very real, as well as 66 cats.
They're calling you double L.
666.
Double L.
Yeah.
Cool, Jay.
Whatever, pricks. So my thing about this is that what Hazard did with Chelsea this past season, Bale has never done. Can I land? Can I respond? Thank you. Let me respond. The Tottenham team that Bale had was far superior than the scrap heaps that Hazard had.
No, that Chelsea team were champions.
No. This past season. So basically, what I'm saying is, in this past season, those scrap heaps that Hazard dragged to third and a trophy is amazing. Bale didn't win a trophy with a Tottenham side that wasn't Dritch in that side. Dritch was in that side, wasn't it?
He's left. Well, you remember Tottenham have it in their DNA not to win anything.
I remember he got them to the champion into the top 4 twice. It's only the second time.
What did he win?
No,
did he win a European Cup? Did he win a European Cup? Did he win a European Cup?
Won the Champions League and not.
Did he win a European Cup?
Where's Hazard's Champions League?
It's in their DNA. They don't.
How can't you just answer a simple question? Did Bale
Win the
lead
European
him?
Cup? Yes. You got 2 with West. You got more with Real Madrid.
Did he lead Tottenham to a European Cup? This is a simple question. Thank you. Case
but
closed. Hazard is better. Thank you. The hell? You can't put.
I feel like we should probably move on.
Yes, let's move on, man. The hell?
Before someone gets up and slaps someone.
What kind of rubbish is this, man? The hell? Bloody football dugout, man. Madness, man.
Welcome to the madhouse.
So let's ride with Coutinho riding over to Bayern, which is another of the major stories happening. So Philippe Coutinho AKA Coutinho is now a member of Bayern Munich. Now, I was worried about Bayern Munich because I thought that Bayern would really struggle this season. I thought that they would really struggle this season because I just felt that they didn't get Leroy Sané. Perisic is from the road. And Kingsley Coman is trash.
I agree with you.
Thank you.
I watched him.
Okay, but I think that really, I think this is a great move for Coutinho because I feel that Coutinho at Barcelona was trash, and I think it's all about systems. I've never said Coutinho is a crap player. You can be the best player in the world, but if you don't fit the dimensions of a system, just to fit the dimensions of a system. Riquelme, one of my most beloved players of all time, he flopped at Barcelona. That still doesn't negate that he's one of the greatest midfielders of all time. So I think for Coutinho, I believe there's more of a chance of him succeeding at Bayern Munich than at Barcelona because Bayern Munich, I just feel, play a totally different system from Barcelona. They're not reliant on someone like Messi. It's not a short, quick, intricate passing. It's much more about, basically because Niko Kovac, with the way he plays, is old school, direct, keep in a few passes, get that shot off and everything. So
yeah, they don't mind someone who cuts in and shoots from distance.
Oh.
I mean, they just lost a guy who did that in Robin, so maybe.
Yeah. So basically, this is the perfect thing. So really, my thing to you guys is, how do you think this is the move that really, because I think Coutinho has sort of fallen down in people's pecking order since like that was nothing. So do you think this move, so 2 points, do you think this move will finally get people to really appreciate Coutinho as an amazing world-class player? And second point is, do you think, despite them missing on Leroy Sané, do you think this is the kind of player that makes Bayern Munich a big player in Europe?
Now, for me, I think it's a good signing for Bayern Munich, don't get me wrong.
I don't think it's the kind of signing that they needed because, as you said, they've lost Robin, they've lost Ribery. Gnabry can do a job, but Coman, as I saw, I've always said he's not as bad, but when I actually watched him, I really took time to watch him rather than anyone else against Berlin. And his football IQ is low. He's very, very quick. He's basically a Theo Walcott without the finishing ability. That's what he is. He's very quick, but he can't finish. That's all Theo had, was finish. Coman, I don't rate him. But I don't think Coutinho, if he's pushed out to the left, because they've got Thiago, they've got Goretzka.
They got Perisic as well now.
Yeah, but I don't think Perisic is going to see much football, to be honest. Okay. I think he'll be more of a rotation player. But I do think Coutinho, is he going to be a better fit for Bayern Munich than what James Rodriguez was? And that's what I keep coming back to. Is he going to do much more than what James Rodriguez done?
Two very different players.
But they've been brought into.
And I think that I thought it would work, but I think what they need essentially
is they need a creator and a goal scorer, much more of an attacking player. Coutinho is going to drive forward with the ball and bring in Lewandowski, bring in Gnabry. James Rodriguez is not going to drive forward with the ball. And I think what Bayern Munich may need, and I don't think they've really had a player like this for some time, is really a player who can really attack and break from midfield and can give you creativity and goals from outside the area. I just think that James Rodriguez as a number 10, maybe he would have probably worked better probably at a Dortmund or something, but I don't think he fits at our Bayern. Old school, a very old school number 10, which maybe didn't work well for Bayern.
I'm not sure if Coutinho is going to play in the 10 or if
He'll be playing off the left.
I feel he might be playing off the left.
That's what I think. He might be playing off the left wing.
But I think he... Is it a signing that says to me, Bayern Munich are here to win the Champions League? No. Not at all. But I think it's a good move for him. It's a necessary move. He had to leave Barcelona. Barcelona was never the right club for him, but it's a move he had to make. When Barca, we said it before, when Barca and Real Madrid come calling, you don't say no. If the club don't want to sell you, that's one thing. But once that club has made that agreement, you can't say no. It's a even the likes of Owen and Woodgate and McManaman and Beckham, you don't say no. So he had to make that move, but it hasn't worked out. I think Bayern will be a better fit for him for the style of player that he is. But I mean, what are they gonna do? Win the Bundesliga? I can't see them win the Champions League. And do they need him to win the Bundesliga? Maybe. We spoke about doing it earlier in the previous show in terms of they're a year older, so I think they could get even closer to winning it again and possibly win it. Coutinho maybe brings Bayern a little bit ahead of them again. I don't know. I think it'll be a good sign.
So do you think Coutinho has the ability to sort of like lead them to a
League?
Champions League?
No, not Champions League. No way.
Well, what about Lewandowski? Because we're going to have an honest convo about Lewandowski, bro. Has he done anything in the Champions League for Bayern Munich? He's still living off those 4 goals for Dortmund.
Yeah. Well, we was having this conversation on Twitter, and someone told me he got 8 in 8 last season. But I think that was all
in the group.
Yeah, in the group. But Lewandowski is a quality striker. Someone was saying he's the best in the world. I don't agree with that. He's in the conversation.
Lewandowski bottled it when he went to Bayern instead of Real Madrid, because for me, when you're in one German team and you just go to the other,
they do.
But that's what I know. And he's not necessarily German himself. He's obviously Polish, but I think it's an easy move. You move from Dortmund to Bayern because you know you're going to win Bundesliga back to back. It's an easy move. It's an easy move. For me, he should have moved away from the Bundesliga to prove himself elsewhere. He didn't do that, and for me, I never said he was the best. I would say for maybe a season where I'll say, yeah, he was the best player in the world, best striker in the world. But I've always had the likes of Aguero and Suarez above him.
Okay. So let's pretty much just
round ourselves back to the Premier League. Just very, very briefly round off over some stuff within the Premier League. So a name that was trending, and I'm sure Devil will be very happy to have this to speak about this, is this boy here, as you guys can see, Dani Ceballos. Now, I was watching this guy for Real Madrid last season during that whole crazy thing, and I was like, oh, this guy's a pretty interesting player. So when I heard that he was loaned, I was like, what? But then a Real Madrid fan then told me that, nah, it is a loan, and we're bringing that dude back because Real Madrid know how valuable he is. So for Real Madrid, they're like, he is for the future, but for what Zidane is trying to do, we wanted to gain some first-team experience somewhere through. And for me, I think that this guy should be... Because remember, because I actually want to know, the amounts of Spanish players who've come from La Liga to the Premier League and have been amazing has been amazing. People have always said that, what if Santi Cazorla was fully fit? Do Arsenal win a league title? I mean, maybe we'll get there. But I think that for Dani Ceballos, for me, I feel that this should be Arsenal's main central midfielder, because, again, this brings up the whole thing of they never replaced Patrick Vieira. Gilberto Silva was a midfield kind of sponge and everything like that. Yeah, he was much more defensive. He was good at what he did, but he wasn't a defense, possession, drive forward with the ball, connect, leader, literally an all-encompassing midfielder, which is what Vieira was. So,
you don't find many of them, though.
No.
You don't get many Vieiras. So
yeah.
You're never gonna replace Vieira.
You don't. Okay, but with the Dani Ceballos now, I mean, and I'll probably get Devil to start off with this. Do you feel that? And it's a shame because it's only this one season, but who knows? You never know what stuff can happen if he likes it. But how much of an impact do you think he can make on the team, specifically tactically? And how do you think Emery is going to use him? And how do you think he's going to help augment Arsenal from what they didn't have last season?
Well, what we didn't have last season in midfield was someone
who could carry the ball. And we clearly seen he could carry the ball. Someone who, and I keep going back to Santi Cazorla, because Santi Cazorla is one of my favourite Arsenal players. You could give him the ball.
Two-footed.
Well, you could give him the ball, tell him to stand on a crisp packet, and he wouldn't lose it with 2 defenders around him. And he would still be on the crisp packet. He wouldn't leave the crisp packet. That's how good he was. And I think Ceballos has some of those qualities where you could give him the ball in a tight space, he'll control it and he'll pop it off and he'll beat 2 man just by being able to control the ball and pass it to someone else. We don't have that. We haven't had that since Santi Cazorla got injured. Our midfield's been completely different. I would like to see him used with Torreira holding behind him and Ozil just in front of him. That's in home games against oppositions where we should be winning. That's what I want to see. Maybe away games you can't really do that because that's a bit too open. But when I think of Ceballos, Ozil, Lacazette, Aubameyang and Pepe on the same side, come on, man.
That tells me Arsenal we concede a lot of goals.
Yeah, bro, we'll get 6. Don't care. No, but I think, you can't do that all the time because, as you said, you're leaving yourself open. So Emery has got a lot of interesting decisions to make this season because if we have both our fullbacks fit, they're going to be bombing forward as well.
Yeah.
So it's very attack-minded in what the team
Would it come down to a shootout between him and Ozil for that number 10 position?
I don't know if he sees him as a 10.
Wait, Ozil? Where the hell did Ozil come from?
Well,
Ozil, Ozil, you'd think of the players we have, And if you put Ozil amongst those players with Aubameyang making runs, Pepe making runs, Lacazette making runs, Ceballos finding him in space, he could be very dangerous. Could be. Or he could be off to DC United in January. Either way, if he's gone and we still have Ceballos, I wouldn't worry so much. Do you know what I mean? But if we lost him without Ceballos, I'd be like, well, we've got no creativity in our midfield. So it's very interesting. And on the loan thing, if he does go back to Real Madrid, but he got us in the top 4, I don't care. Thank you. Well done. Brilliant.
Done his job.
Now we can go get someone else.
I think Arsenal fans are hoping that Real Madrid buy Pogba next year, which means they don't need Ceballos.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Let's move on now to another of my favorite players, man. Sadio Mane, a guy who, for some strange reason, has rejected his Nigerian citizenship to represent Senegal. Mane, hey, Devil, can I please learn? Thank you. So, Mane, can you please just take over your Nigerian citizenship to get us this flipping Nations Cup and World Cup? Thank you very much. Quality, he was absolutely amazing against Southampton, and he's further proving that he is the most gifted and Liverpool's best attacking player. As in, not only was his goal amazing, he should have gotten 2 assists because Firmino should have finished off that first ball that he gave to him. So, but I think because when I saw him at Southampton, I was like, he's all right.
He wasn't great at Southampton. That's why.
Whoa.
That's what's all right.
But he had moments.
He had
Fastest ever had trick.
No, but my thing about it is that the degree to which he has so improved, because in this past few, it's 2-3 seasons, he's been, I think it's the 3rd season with Liverpool now. Third?
Third.
I think it's 3rd. This is the 3rd. This is the 3rd. So, and in each season he's been improving. So my thing is, it's almost similar to the whole Sterling Guardiola thing, where is this a case of where you give the credit to Klopp? Do you give the credit to just managing the development? Who deserves most credit for this? Because for me, I think, look, the player will always go down there and really do his thing. But man, I think of Lewandowski, I think of Mario Götze, I think of Ilkay Gundogan, I think of Hummels, I think of Salah, I think of so many players who Klopp has taken to the next level. And then I use Lewandowski as an example. He goes to Bayern Munich, he has been nowhere near as lethal as he was at Dortmund.
I don't know about that.
No. The Lewandowski Dortmund in like the Lewandowski. So for me,
but this is the same Lewandowski that's been Golden Boot. What? How many times has he been?
he plays for Bayern. He plays for Bayern Munich.
He's scored a lot.
I know. But he scored a lot of goals for Bayern Munich.
No, but I'm talking just about his quality of play. So, but Mane. So for Mane, so the first question is, who do you give most of the credit to? Do you give it to Klopp, or do you just give it to Mane's natural progression? And what do you think the upside is? Do you think the potential is PFA Player of the Year, or he can actually be on that final 3 Ballon d'Or list?
For me, I'm actually a bit gutted because we were in for Mane the year before.
You were in for everybody.
No.
You were in for the Pope, for Mother Teresa. You were in for everyone. You were in for a chief.
We made a
Buhari.
we made a £20 million bid for Mane the year before he joined Liverpool when we had an LVG, and Southampton wanted I think 30 million, and we weren't willing to pay it. Now at the time we were lacking so much pace and creativity up front, especially under LVG was a slow, methodical play. I was desperate for that kind of player. But I didn't even expect him to get this. I thought, he can do a very good job for us. But I didn't expect him to do what he's done now. And for me, I have to give the credit to the player before the manager, always. Because when these players flop, we put that criticism on the player before we do the manager. Generally speaking, the player has to have the ability and the application to get to that level first and foremost. The manager's role is to mould and to get the best out of the player. But ultimately, if the player is not willing to do what he needs to do to get to that level, then that's never going to happen, no matter what the manager does. So for me, I have to put it first to the player, but it doesn't dismiss the work that Pep has done with Sterling or Klopp has done with Mane.
Someone said it's been 4 seasons. I think it's really been 3.
So this might be. When did he score that goal again? Because he scored against us. This guy loves a goal against us. He scored against us on his debut. That was what, 3 years? 3 years ago? 4 years ago?
Did he join?
Was he join before Salah?
This is his
Did he join before Salah?
Yeah,
So this is his 4th season. Yeah.
4th season.
Okay, because he was there when Coutinho was first.
and he's banging.
Oh, yeah, you saw you guys right here. First.
I don't want to praise Mane too much because we're playing him on the weekend. So, yeah, he's good, but his hairline's shit.
What hairline?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, no, man. That's
deep, man. That's deep.
Not as deep as his hairline.
Okay, so very briefly now, and real brief. Let's relate to the rookie now. Look, I said Champions League semis minimum. Wait, chill, man. Let me land. Wait. I didn't crack a joke. Just chill. I said Champions League semis minimum, and I said Tammy Abraham is the next Drogba. I didn't actually say he's the next Drogba. I was doing that for a laugh. So that wasn't actually real. I was just doing that just to because I'm a comedian. I was just doing it for my comedy act.
You meant Colin Drogba.
Thank you.
Less than
Thank you. Yeah, there you go. You know, witty. You know, on the ball. That's why I like you. So my thing about this is that I'm worried about this team. I think this could be shocking. Just very briefly because we just have a few more things to go through. What do you see the pattern to be for Chelsea this coming season? How well do you? Because it's been three games now. And maybe missing, because I think I've already seen enough to know what the pattern is going to be like. So how do you think that this season is going to unfold for the rookie? Do you think that they're going to surprise people? Do you think that they're just going to be what people expect 6th or 7th? Or do you think that it could get even worse and even darker and these guys could potentially just be like 10th, 11th or something? Or what do you think?
I think I'm going to expect maximum effort, not so much reward. I think I think you have to be because they're missing Callum Hudson-Odoi, who's a very good player. Reece James, who will probably take Azpilicueta's place because Azpilicueta's finished. Loftus-Cheek, who is a game changer in midfield. So they have got other players come back, but their Achilles heel will be their strikers. Mm-hmm. That will be their Achilles heel. So they have lots of effort, some nice approach play. We all know Giroud. I love him. I think he's a great player. But if you're looking for someone to bury a one-on-one chance, and that's the only chance of the game, it might not be him.
It won't be.
You
know? and it won't be Bashua either.
Yeah.
But
definitely won't be Abraham.
First, I have to say it's good that Lampard dropped Tammy Welbeck after his penalty miss in the Super Cup. And people dared put Tammy in certain levels where he shouldn't be, but. It's a problem because whether it's Tammy, Giroud or Batshuayi, you can't trust any of them. You can't trust that they're going to get the goals you need. And goals is the currency at this level. You can have all the great play you want. You can even defend as brilliant as you want to. But if you're not scoring goals, you ain't going to get the results. You can draw 38 games and you'll go down. So I think for me, Chelsea's going to struggle with that. Now, what we've seen in the first 3 games as a pattern, however, is that they've started very well, 20 minutes, 25, maybe even a bit longer, but they fade away. And when you can't put games away, teams at this level, they grow into the game. And then they take their chances out of it, like Liverpool did in the Super Cup, like Man United did in the first game, and like Leicester did on the weekend.
Right.
Also, that was one big thing. I think that's just a bit harsh. Personally, I think that's true. I think that's true. Okay, make sure that your boy Rashford gets those 30 G's, man. Make sure he gets those 30 G's. Yeah, blah blah blah. So now, of course, guys, we told you that we were going to put up our Twitter poll, which of course was, how successful do you think Coutinho's move to Bayern will be? And the results are in. So what we now have is. At 11%, he'll be a brick. Let's be harsh. 20%, hard to say. 28%, average. Now, see, this is where I want to know the names of people who vote for stuff. 41%. Now, I was not very good at maths. I was in the C set, and I think I got dropped down to the D set because I was too dumb. I was playing that flicking game in the back of the class and everything like that. So I did
What were you flicking, bro?
Easy, chill. Look, man, I was bored, man. Look, come on, man. I was a 15, 14-year-old man. I was not that kind of dude, man. I wasn't flicking drugs, man. But no. Look, maths wasn't my good thing, but I was good at algebra though. That was my strong suit. But the whole thing with the angles, wait, what am I talking about maths? 41% said he was going to be amazing.
I voted average.
As well.
To be fair.
Amazing. Based
on what? Based on what?
No, before
I tell you, 39% of that 41 are Liverpool fans.
you literally stole the words out of my mouth. Can we just deal with this very briefly right now? Now, because I saw the kind of back and forth you were having on Twitter with that dude, because there is this kind of myth that Liverpool fans have that Coutinho was this superb player. Like, your team has improved without him. And there are still people that say,
Best
man,
transfer they've ever done, hands down.
you finessed Barcelona. You finessed Barcelona for 120 mil. You faced them in the Champions League semis, beat their ass with Coutinho there, and they were so pissed off they pretty much shipped him off. But Liverpool fans still want this dude. Basically, it's like the battering wife syndrome. The battering wife syndrome is like, you've been beaten, you've been destroyed, you've been stopped, but you're like, you know what, man? You know, like the whole, man, he does good things behind this, behind the scenes. Look, kids watch this stuff, but you get it. Basically, my thing is like, let's just be real here. Coutinho never had a great season for Liverpool. Liverpool have improved without him. So, what is this myth that people have that Coutinho was this great player?
He had one very, very good season
for them. And then he was in the midst of a great season when Barcelona signed him. That's it. For all the years before that, he was very inconsistent. He'll come up with a few games here and there. He looked unplayable at times, and then he'll disappear. To say Coutinho was a great player for Liverpool is because Liverpool was struggling in the times when he was there.
Yeah.
If they were at the level they are now, he wouldn't be talked about in that. He's never done what Salah's done. He's never done what Mane's done. He's never done what any of those guys have done. But yet he was so great for Liverpool. It's because at the time Liverpool was struggling.
Yeah.
And that's why he was seen as being a great. He wasn't. He was slightly above average. That is it. He had one great season.
You know what? He has great moments.
Yeah.
And a wonder goal because he shoots so much.
Coutinho.
Yeah.
You
That's
shoot
his
18 times.
Yeah. 30-yard screen, man. And it's like, look at what he's done. But if you actually see how many shots he took in the game, you'd be like, well, you got 10% or not even 10%.
And a lot of the time, them shots, it was like, well, you could have just played him in.
Yeah.
Could have just played him in. But he's just banging shots.
And as you said, because they didn't have the quality ahead of him, where you can say, oh, he should have passed to Salah, he should have passed to Mane, he should have done. So it was like, well, we're relying on you. So shoot as much as you want, and it'll go. And he goes to Barca, where now he has to pass because there are better players in front of him, and he's shooting over the bar more.
Actually, I think we have a super chat.
We have a super chat, yeah. Harry Truman.
Yeah.
Disagree. Tino, a good player, dribbling, impeccable.
But we're not even talking about ability. Ability-wise,
Brilliant.
he's brilliant. He's got the
Consistency.
But yes, consistency. That for me, that is all it matters at this level. Because generally at this level, everyone's got ability. That's why they're at this level. I want to see what you're doing week in, week out.
A la Mane, a la Firmino,
Exactly.
a la Salah.
Yeah, no. Look. I mean, like, I absolutely.
I mean, if I was to pick from that whole thing, I would say average. I think he'll do average. He'll have amazing moments, but ultimately he'll be average. I think look, if he's amazing for Bayern, like, I have nothing against Coutinho. I'm sure he's a nice guy and everything. And I think if he does well for Bayern, I think, look, applaud to you, because many people would have sort of like been down on the luck, because trust me, it's would pain him so much that. No, I know this is just a side note. That hat trick against Valencia.
I got off my seat, and my mum lives in Valencia, so I was supporting Valencia, and then when I went, I was like, yeah, no.
I've got a thread incoming about Rivaldo, because I don't think we speak about Rivaldo.
No.
We really don't. On Twitter, I got a thread.
No. I mean, maybe the last few minutes.
Special on that.
We don't speak.
Yeah.
About Rivaldo.
Okay,
We have to
so
talk about a legend before we go.
all right, so look, man. Last 10 minutes of the show, guys. It's pretty much down to you. So send in your questions, send in your views.
I want to talk about Ashley Cole.
Oh,
We can't pay tribute
Let me-
to Wesley Sneijder 1 week and then
look, it's Snyderman. Come on, man. 2010. So look, this is something that we obviously did discussing before we came here. Is about fullbacks and about who we feel is the best fullback of all time. And obviously, this links in one with obviously Ashley Cole announcing his retirement. We were asked on the thread about Dani Alves and where does he rank. So this is my thing here, and obviously let me pop it off, then I'll then give it over to you guys. Ashley Cole is a prick. As a character, he's a disgusting, stupid individual. When I read in his book that he almost crashed his car when he heard how much he was being offered in comparison to Thierry Henry, I was like, you piece of crap. But put him to one side. Put Chalk Ice to one side. If I was having, because I always do like my great teams and everything, And whenever I do my grade team, and I do this begrudgingly, but I'm like, let me just put my personal grievance aside. Whenever I put my left back for my team, because I think I always do 4-3-3, I always have Ashley Cole as my left back. Because I feel that as far as defensive work, accuracy of tackling, balance going forward, crossing with the ball, the balance and understanding of moving forward and understanding your defensive duties, I don't know of a better left back than that. Because my right back is, for me, my favorite defender of all time, which is Bart Simpson, aka Lamb. Yeah. But I think he is the best left back of all time. So, for you guys, where do you rank Ashley Cole? And talk to me about who do you think are the best fullbacks of all time, like left and right.
For me, I think when he announced retirement, I actually tweeted. I said, "Best left back I've ever seen." I paused before saying the best of all time because I haven't seen every left back, even in their pomp. You think of someone like Maldini, who some people comment under my tweet, and I was like, well, Maldini's career started 7 years before I was born, 1984. So in his pomp, when he was 26, 27, 28, I was 7 years old at best. I didn't see Maldini like that. By the time I started watching Maldini, he had moved into centre back a lot of the times. So the best left back I've seen, and coming from a Man United fan who grew up in an era where Arsenal was our massive rivals, for me to say Ashley Cole means that there must be a reason. And I've seen Evra, I've seen Irwin, even Gabriel Hines for a moment before his injury. Gabriel Hines was
left back.
Top left back. Yeah. Evra took his position after his injury, and he actually wanted to move to Liverpool, but that's a story for another day. And I would have to I love Patrice Evra, I love him, but I have to put Ashley Cole for me as the best left back. When it comes to right back, because for me the best fullback is Philip Lahm, 100% fullback, because he played left, played right, and he even went into defensive midfield just to show that he could do it. But Dani Alves is in that conversation. He's in the conversation.
How good was he? How good is Dani Alves?
See, that's where it lets me down, because when I think in best fullback, I'm going to say Ashley Cole. And the reason why I'm saying this is because Ashley Cole, you could just give him that whole
Leighton Baines.
No, don't read that. Don't piss me off. Don't piss me off. Who said that?
Harry Truman.
Bro, did he pay for that?
No.
I'll refund him.
Bro, Harry Truman. I think you better give up on the Truman show, man, because that doesn't make sense.
So for me, Ashley Cole, you just give him that whole side. When he's at Arsenal, this is why Pires was so effective for us, because he didn't have to be on the left. He could pop up anywhere. Because we knew, just give me that side. That's me. I've got all of that. And literally, for someone who had such a long career at the top level, I can only think of Ronaldo in that one particular game who had him on skates. I can't remember what game it was.
It was one of the first games that they played. Yeah. But after that,
Cole had him in his pocket every time he played him. I can't think of anyone else who had Ashley Cole
had a runaround.
Okay, no one else. I can't think of anyone. If anyone can think of them, let me know.
Because even Ashley Cole even ate Messi.
Everybody.
Messi couldn't touch Ashley Cole.
Everybody.
That's a fact.
He pocketed everybody who come down that side. And he never got, because he is a prick, he never got the plaudits he got. He's the most decorated English footballer of all time.
Yeah, 107 appearances for England.
The most captain, no? Or is Beckham taking that now?
I feel like Ashley Cole might be.
I think Beckham did.
But the whole thing about this whole Arsenal moving to Chelsea, I think he said they offered him 5k more than he was already.
Much more, yeah.
So I don't blame him for nearly crashing the car, because forget the Henry's on. It's a disrespect for the best left back in the world at the time. You're only offering him 5k more to stay. You obviously didn't want him that much. Now, I don't like Ashley Cole as much. His whole role in the John Terry, Anton Ferdinand thing rubbed me up the wrong way. I don't like him as a person. I don't know him personally, but from what I know in terms of his character. But Arsenal didn't respect him, hence why he left. And he left for the better. Man went to won the Champions League, Premier League titles, FA Cups.
As an Arsenal fan, I was vexed when he left. But when you look back on it, it's like, well, he won everything. He won everything at Chelsea, and he cemented his legacy. Fair play to him.
Yeah. So last few minutes here before we obviously pop off here. Look, guys saying I saw Daniel Rose, I saw Leighton Baines, and all those guys in there.
Well, there's Zanetti. obviously Cafu is probably the
Cafu.
pinnacle of right back.
Yeah.
I think all of them. And
But nobody.
Danny Alves would aspire to,
No one is touching Lamb though. Like for me, I think like those two are certified. Lamb and if you're doing a great team and you're playing a back four, Lamb and Ashley Cole, you cannot get better than that. You can't. Like anything, you cannot get better than Lamb and Ashley Cole as your two left and right backs of all time.
Ashley Cole is one of the best I've ever seen a goal line clearance.
Yeah.
All the time. Pop up.
And you know it's no fluke.
Yeah.
One of the comments, Jared Scott says Roberto Carlos is better than Ashley Cole. People love this one. They love this whole Roberto Carlos thing. Roberto Carlos was brilliant going forward, but that was it.
Yeah.
He was terrible at the back. And what's up for a left back?
Yeah.
I want to see what you're doing at the back before anything else.
And criminally overrated on free kicks.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Criminally overrated on free kicks.
I don't know how tight.
Yeah.
We overrate as fans. People overrated him, but also the bloody teammates because they gave it to him half the time. He scored one free kick against France, and after that,
It's exactly
one in every 14.
He scored the greatest free kick of all
It's
time.
like,
Go again. Go again. No, because I said, no, but I skied it over 5 times. I know, but he's got it for go again. And literally the guy missed up about 10 times. Okay, all right, piss off. But next time, go again.
Wait, so let's think in the 2002 World Cup, when Brazil needed it at the death, Rivaldo scored, or later on, they gave Rivaldo the free kick. He scored that. But when they played China in the group, I think they were like 3-0 up. Roberto Carlos had that one. And he took it, he went to the top corner. Roberto Carlos. It's like it's 4-0. They didn't care whether it went in or not.
oh man. All right.
But Danny Alves, you said, I was quickly Danny Alves, because that was the was it Byron, I think his name was on Twitter.
Yeah.
He mentioned Danny Alves, and I think we don't. Danny Alves wasn't a bad defender. His attacking was that much better.
Was average. I'd say average defender.
No, he's better than average.
I think he's better than average. Because especially he was better than a lot of the right backs, other than the likes of Zanetti or even Zambrotta to an extent. But defensively, compared to the others, like Maicon wasn't that much better than him defensively. He was better
No,
in his peak.
If we're having a different form, like let's say going forward, let's say you play like a back three. And then you're playing full on wing backs. Only the three pretty much do most of the defensive work. So if we're not doing anything on like your fullbacks are going forward, then I'm running with Marcelo, one of my favorite players today, and Dani Alves. If it's about basically Marcelo is the best attacking fullback of all time.
Better than Roberto Carlos.
Yes. Have you seen the kind of stuff that Marcelo has done on the pitch?
I know technically he's very good. Roberto Carlos
Have you seen the stuff on a daily basis? Every single time Marcelo will do something that makes me go, what? Seriously? So trust me, every single time.
I never want to see that again. I never want to see that again.
I just put it in
I agree. You're right. I was wrong. How dare I?
All right. Okay. So guys, let's just run off now. So look, man. That is it's all for this whole thing. Remember, guys, like this vid, like the vid, share the vid, like that vid, share that vid, and everything. Thank you for all of those guys coming in, and of course, we will be back here again on Monday to review all of the show. So, say your goodbyes, dear sires.
Thanks for watching. Obviously, Man United about to play Wolves, so we're gonna go and watch that. Dan James starts.
Yeah.
The White Sox in both.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. We appreciate it. But Harry Truman, please, never, ever say anything as silly as that again. That's upset me.
Wait.
Leighton
Baines. We're talking about great left backs and he's talking about an Oasis tribute. Come on.
My God.
Come on. But thank you. Thank you for watching.
So, that is all from us, guys. Peace out, stay tuned. Remember to like the vid, share the vid. Talk to us on Discord. You know what our flipping Twitter handles are. Like, it's in the bloody description box. I hope I'll put it in there. And then we can relate to you. Peace out, stay tuned. Remember to stay black. Peace.